Good morning, Rabbi Sai. A guten Chodesh. Rabbi Sai, we have a special live. We don't need to watch it on video. Go ahead. Hello. I think everybody should do it together. Rabbi Sai, together. Hello. All right, that's it. No more trauma from that word.
Wasn't on camera.
Huh? It's always on camera. It's on camera. Rabbi Isai, one more reminder. In 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, the major Shabbos of Achdus, the first one ever in Eretz Yisrael. We talk about the one in America and how it recharges the batteries for the whole year. Not Magzim. Ask anybody that was there will tell you. Not only for you, for the guy, for the wife also. There are 10 rooms left only for donors. And we are missing, last night Benny told me, almost 200,000 shekels. So, you know anybody that wants to donate to this unbelievable Shabbos, be a big part of being Chazik people. I have a lot here. This is Mendy last year. Because you didn't see it, I got to see it again because he's unbelievable. But I want you to notice this time, on top, his whole body shakes. It's not just the hand. Watch this. Mendy, where were you? Let's hear Geshmak Elu. Nu.
Amazing! Elu!
Oh!
Eli, I'm here in San Diego, and you got a big fan base here in San Diego. Jonathan Glabak, right?
From Long Island.
Where?
Woodmere.
Nice. All right. When did you start Daf?
Avodah Zarah.
Nice.
Under 5'10", our business started it, all of us together, 5 guys.
There we go. Many more. He committed to double the amount of guys here in San Diego doing the Daf.
Givaldik, San Diego. Doing the Daf in family retreat in Hocking Hills, Ohio. It's Geshmak to the Daf. Jonathan Heifetz, Cleveland, with the rebellion since the 8-minute Daf. When was that? I don't know. Sachar Savitz. You were saying something that the Yerushalmis don't have motorcycles. Here you go. So last night I showed this picture. A guy goes, that's my brother, Zechron Levracha's father-in-law. We had Friedman, remember? He lived in your building. He was Nifter, young guy. So that's his father-in-law, even who he was. And this is the end of an Erev in the Haredi program in Europe. In Europe, on the street, this prevents anti-Semitism, Rabbi Isai. When you put stickers on their side, they love it. In Hebrew also, it's givaldik. To remind the Israelis who aren't used to needing an Erev, as with today's shir. I'm sponsoring today in honor of Rebelli. What? Celebrating my 70th birthday. 70th birthday, Ben Shivim Seva. I started the Daf, Siyam Masechet Shavuos. I do the Daf. A guy comes over to me, he says, so he's speaking to his brother. His brother says, I only do the emails already for a few years. He says, why don't you do the whole Daf? He says, because I do the emails in the bathroom. I do the Daf after minyan every morning and twice on Sundays. It's a great way to start my day. I never learned, we got to throw in a little Torah in between just to mess that guy up. I never learned Masechtas Avodah Zarah. The graphics make the Gemara come to life. I've been married 47 years. I had to show my wife the graphic of the chassan. Came to the chuppah with kosher cow dung. Who knew it would be Shavah Pruta? Wishing all the empty wires continue Tzlacha, William Hachman, Boca Raton. And that's the calendar. Mordechai Frank, please continue showing Trump and Bibi much better than showing someone getting a bris. That made me uncomfortable. Keep the shroom coming. What? That one, yeah. Dear Rebelli, will it be possible to give a shout out to her dear son, Eitan Ben Shabbat from London, who is starting yeshiva today in Beis Yisrael in Veyakov, Yerushalayim. Please wishing him Hatzlacha in his first Zman. Rabbi, I want to wish Hatzlacha Be'emes to all the young guys that are starting yeshiva. We're going to be losing some of them, hopefully not for life, but a lot of them are going to yeshiva and they're done with the daf for now. So Hatzlacha to all the Bachrim. Everybody should have a tremendous Zman. It should be a year of loving to learn Torah, loving Avodas Hashem. P.S. It's yes and not yes. You mentioned last night, spot on, from his proud parents, Itzik and Elisheva ben Shabbat from London. Over there, they don't say yeah. Always, I love this. Right before Shir, I got another 18 emails, and each one was better than the next. I didn't know what to put in, but this one, Mamish, grabbed me. I couldn't believe it. This is my dream. Benny, this is my dream right over here. I just had to share a beautiful update since I reached out. What began as a small group of boys learning together at the DLA here in Wig Academy has grown to something truly remarkable. The entire shir has not joined in. They're learning the daf together every single night in camp, and has become the official night seder for them. That's my dream. Some of these yeshivas, instead of the bacham walking around the block. A personal message from my Moshe, he asked that I give over that as the official night Seder Magichir, which is myself, he says it's only fair and appropriate that you show up in person once in a while for Seder. On a more serious note, he asked that the next time you're in New York, we'd love to give the shir, and his yeshiva would mean a lot to him. Thank you again for all the chizuk and consistency. Your shir is changing lives one daf and one night, one heart at a time, with heartfelt thanks and appreciation. A proud mother and wife. Rabbi said, check this out, I love this. It's unbelievable. 20 guys plus a Maggid Shir, 21 people in this room. The Maggid Shir, it looks like he's a Maggid Shir, all the way in the corner in the back. Good morning, Rabbi camp, I think. I don't know. She said they do this in camp every night. This is the night Seder. This is the official night Seder. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated memory of Avi Mori, Reb Shalom Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levrach. The Masechta anonymous. Hatzlach Baruch Nitzvi Gash Mizchus Achim Bnei Yisrael. Anonymous. May our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Lilin Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Multi sponsors TCS Israel, powered by Talk and Save Anonymous Refuah Shlema, Sorah B'Amat Haram, and Shir Bat Sarah. Weekly sponsors Dr. Avram Epstein and his wife Rivka Refuah Shlema for Shoshana Bas Rezel. Amen. Innovations LC, Lilin Nishmas Reb Chaim Ben Rebbe Lazar, we hope you and your family have an Achama, Eli Chaya, Kalmo, Yisrael and Tila. Yitzi Hollander, in honor of our new granddaughter Yakira, anonymous. The whole Klal Yisrael should have a good gebench Yor. Amen. Daily sponsors: Peretz Chaim Levine, Lezeicha Nishmas Reb Chaim Meir Ben Reb Mordechai Zeicha Tzadik Yivracha, father of our dear Nesanel Gans, whose kindness and expertise were instrumental in making two of my daughter's chasanas unforgettable. But his kindness and expertise also brought thousands and thousands of people to MDY, and we all have a tremendous akar zatoiv. Turning of the daffers for the aliyas neshama of the father of Nesanel Gans, whose yours is today, Reb Chaim Meir Ben Reb Mordechai, and in appreciation of Nesanel and all he does for the MDY family. Oh, hold on, because you didn't hear this, I want to show you. And this is the words fit right into the yard site. Nesanel made a song. You know, like when your friend makes a song. Yeah, he sent it to you. Your friend makes a song, and you kind of cringe. You don't know how to tell him that it's no. AI does it better. Whatever. He sends me the song. I couldn't believe it. First of all, I didn't realize he has such a beautiful voice. And the words are beautiful, the song is beautiful, and the background, the music. So just in case you weren't following the shir Ben Azmanim, and this has to do with his father's yard, my family wants to kill me. The entire trip, over and over. And as we're turning the corner, I just remember listening to the song, and we see a bunch of bison. It was mamish. It made my Ben Azmanim. Check this out. Come on.
Pach li hiver oi ich tenachmuni hever vi khinoyri ne pach li hiver very good ich tenachmuni ich tenachmuni
Rabbi Isai, daily sponsors Jake L, Refuah Shlema, Shura Bat Sora, Miriam Bat Osnat, Mordechai Ben Tuvia, Gal Ben Shushan, Lili Nishma, my grandfather, Anam Ben David on his first yard side. Innovations LLC is chus for Fishel Elchon and Akiva. Rivka Mrs. Vance, Kalman Yisrael for learning former Sefkas Rebelli. Welcome back, Mark. Daily sponsors Mark Ashkenazi. Hey, Mark. In the name of everybody, Hamoko Yimnachem Esem V'Soy Shar V'Leitzir V'Shaloyim. Lidishmas, my father, Reb Chaim Ben Reb Elazar Ashkenazi L'Shalom. Huh? Let's go.
I feel like rebelling during Spira.
He said he wants a kiss.
If I'm keeping the beard.
You want people to tell you that you don't look good and you need a shave?
Please.
I heard something about the beard. It was truly inspiring how many hundreds of MD wires visited, called, or messaged to me, Menachem Ovel, Mi Kamcha Yisrael. So I wrote back to him. I said, give me like one story of somebody that came from far or whatever. I didn't realize it's going to be a whole... There, check this out. Michael Chesel flew to and from Hollywood just to sit with me for an hour. Morty Spiro flew to and from Chicago just to sit with me. I was there when he came. Eli Hefter drove from Baltimore to Levaya and Kvura. Dr. Listas drove from Allentown, Pennsylvania to Levaya and Kvura, and then again to Lakewood to sit with me at the Shiva. Jeff Rosenberg drove from Hasbrook, Pennsylvania back for the Shiva. Fischel Gross from Baltimore and back for Shiva twice, Fischel Gross. I was in my house alone on Thursday and Friday and was nonstop till late night, till 5 p.m. on Friday. His mother told them that they can't take a break. So the entire day, there was no like 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you know how these shivas? Sitting shiva from 9 to 10, and from 10 to 5 p.m., please don't come visit. No, it was the entire day. Guys from all over, Jersey, Muncie, KJ, Manhattan, 5 towns, Queens and Brooklyn too, Borough Park, Williamsburg, and Flatbush. Kitzer, he said it's going to take him all shloshim to write back to all the people. Now, one thing I got to tell you, a couple of things. One of the crazy stories they told me at Shiva, and it's crazy, not so much on the Chesed, fine, but this story, a beautiful weekend Shever Brachas. Imagine, beautiful in somewhere in some fancy hotel. Chassan and Kala get stuck on the highway. They had to get off by Mark Ashkenazi's parents and stay there for Shabbos. Hundreds of guests at the. I'm just like, I don't know what happened to that couple today, where they are today. Maybe they have Eniklach already. Who knows? That was one thing, and then another one. They said Mark was telling me that a couple had to be in the hospital for months. She had to be in bed rest in the hospital. Then the baby was born early, NICU for months. All those months, the father was in their house. And then many years later, when his father was just nifter, needed medical attention, that baby that was in the NICU was the one who was there. He was a PA and he didn't administer the IV or whatever. MDY Art monthly, Refuah Shlema for Yonatan Eitan Ben Bashev Brachal, Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther, Refuah Hayela Daniel Zeb Ben Ayel Esther, Rabbi Isai, Gewaldige Daf again. So, oh yeah, what is this? Somebody gave me a gift. The belly shlita. I should open it up, no? I see what it is, but we'll learn eventually. בתחילה עובדה עבודה זרה יבצינו ועכשיו כבנו המוקר לעבודתו. Gewaldig. Where are we going to put this? Rabbi say, MDY is going to buy me a new house with long walls so I can hang all these things up. I'm sure my wife wants this somewhere. Oh, it's a painting. It's not real even. This is a painting.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. This is a painting. Bamis. He won't tell. He said it's anonymous. They don't. I can know, but I can't tell you. Read the card. Let's see. Read the card. Ooh. What? How's the 2,711, you're the Iron Man of Torah, Mazel Tov on your siyum, and changing many more thousands of lives. May you always go from Avodah Zarah to Avodah Samakim. Okay, I can't say the name. I could say the name? You sure? Yuma Daf Beis. Avodah Zarah, H10, Baltimore, Maryland. Psh. So what's an original? I don't chap. It looks like all this is all art. Okay, look at my hand over here. It's
This isn't the original.
there's a paint.
The original. Oh, maybe you're not supposed to say it. The print.
I'm not supposed to say it. Okay.
Take it out.
It's too late now. It's on 25 things. It's not my fault. Avi. What does it say? Typo. It says no, typo. So it's his fault. He made a typo. Okay, sorry. I tried. Even when I try, it slips. Okay, Rabbi says, here we go. We're done with we're in the non-traumatic sugya. We learned about, we'll get the guests on Amud Beis. Remind me on Amud Beis. It's already 7:30. 20 minutes. Wow. Okay, that's more than enough time for today's Amud, Daf. Rabbi, today we're learning a new thing. Yesterday we discussed a lot about min b'minoi. Min b'sheini minoi. Mashu and nois and tam. Nois and tam, so you already started. What is nois and tam? Nun tes. Nois and tam is, if we don't know, right, there's a mashu that ruins a whole tafshil, a whole thing of food. But there's also another thing called nois and tam. How much is nois and tam? The Oiler remembers 1/60th. Nun tes. Today we're going to learn this idea called nois and tam levgam. That's basically today's sugya. The reason why a lot of people, when you see natal pagam, I'm going to ask the Sanhedrin when Mashiach comes, like, to get rid of all the crazy Rosh Tevas. It's just confusing. Now, we have enough ink, we have paper, it's fine. Natal pagam, it looks scary. But it's nois and tam levgam. What does it mean? Very, very simple. If the food imparts, this treif stuff imparts a terrible flavor that's not good for the food, we're going to paskin today that the food is kosher. So, in other words, let's say you cooked meat in a pot and the pot is more than a day old, and then you cook milk in it. It's not a problem. La lacha. Why? Because the flavor that comes out of the pot into the milk is already a day old. It's disgusting. It's old meat. And that's nois and tam livgam. It's giving bad flavor to the milk, so it shouldn't make the milk. I'm not passing anything. I'm just telling you what we're learning today. Shouldn't make the tafshil osur. So that's what we're learning today. Says the Gemara. Zaklal. We learned in the Mishnah. It's 4 lines from the top of Samach Zayin Amud Aleph. Zaklal kol shebahanosoi benois and tam. When the food imparts a good flavor, then it makes it treif. And if it imparts a bad flavor, it's kosher. And the Mishnah gives an example. For instance, if you have beans or some sort of grisin, barley, beans, whatever it is, and you pour vinegar on it, like pouring vinegar into your chont, so it's going to give it a terrible flavor. So even though the vinegar is treif, the chalt is kosher. Why? Because it imparted a terrible flavor. So now we have a little bit of a freebie, like 10 lines that repeats itself a bunch of times. So we're going to see 4 or 5 shitas that tell you that nois and tam livgam, when you impart a bad flavor, the food is kosher. Here, this is Rabbi Yehuda. Halacha, nois and tam livgam mutter. We're going to keep on going. This one says it's mutter. This one says it's mutter. Everybody says it's mutter. Okay? Rabbi, do me a favor. Once you're up there, unplug that perfume thing. It's driving me crazy. It's mamish tam livgam. You're right. Rabbi Yehuda So Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel, in the name of Shmuel, says the halacha is that if it gives a bad flavor, it's kosher. And now, just an explanation. When does it give it a bad flavor? When these grisin, these beans, this barley, whatever it is, is boiling, it's hot. So you can imagine when you introduce some flavor into something hot, it gets absorbed. But if it's cold, and then you heated it up, so first thing, if these grisen are cold and you introduce vinegar, it makes the grisen good. What just hit my head is like arbus on a Friday night, arbus. So you got to add some spice to it, otherwise it doesn't taste like anything. So you add a little bit of vinegar. Why is it not pepper, vinegar, geschmack? If it's cold, it makes it good. So what if you introduce a bunch of vinegar to the beblach, to the arbus, and then you put it on the stove and you cook it? Now, if it's hot and you put the vinegar, that ruins the flavor. But what if you put it when it's cold and then you heat it up? It's too late. That we saw a bunch of times that if something's usser, when it's cold and you add the vinegar, it makes it good. So just because you heated it up and you boiled it doesn't make it better. You can't get rid of the isser. Then it's like as if you made it good, then you made it bad. It's too late. It is good. We're going to look at it as if you made it good, and this isser remains in it, and it's usser. Taisus just explains, why does it say nasa? Nasa. What's nasa? Nasa means, no, I'm not looking for that. Nasa. What the Gemara should say is, it's great. Not nasa. Nasa means it's as if. It's not as if, it's great. Vinegar for cold is good. So Taisus says it's something very simple, like arbus. We could understand it. If you take something raw and you pour vinegar in it, it doesn't do anything to it. If you take something and you boil it up and then you cool it down, then you introduce the vinegar, that's cold that you introduce vinegar. So says Taisvas, what's really good is if you would have boiled it, cooled it off, introduced vinegar. But over here, you introduce the vinegar before you boiled it. You just put it to when it's cold. Then it's as if it was boiled, cooled down, and introduced the vinegar. So it's only as if. Fine. I might have skipped something. So if I go back to my chart over here, we have right here Rabbi Bar Rav Dimi. No, somebody else. Same exact thing. He's not repeating, just repeating. It's when the vinegar hits the hot grisen, then it gets absorbed, and therefore it's nice and tam livgam. It's a bad flavor. Bad flavor equals kosher. If we put it in the cold, and cold it adds good flavor, and only afterwards virtichon you boiled it up. Again, same lashon. It was good, then bad, and Memela remains asur v'asur. V'chein ki asur Rav Dimi. Here, this is Rav Dimi. Dimi. I don't know. Okay, this is Rav Dimi. This is a food that they used to eat in Tzipori. They would take grisen and add the vinegar to it, and it was a good food. Shachalayim. Throughout Shas, we have cress. Cress, they would introduce vinegar to the cress and eat it like that. This is not shachalayim. This is grisen with vinegar. Givaldik. Just for covered Irish Abbasis. So they asked this kid that was struggling with Yiddishkeit, what's your trauma? Every kid has a trauma. Everybody has a story. So he said a trauma that we can relate to it, but rather here in the shir, it's very hard to relate to, but people can relate to it. He said, because Erev Shabbos in my house was a disaster. Because of Erev Shabbos. My parents used to fight like crazy, yelling and screaming, and the pressure for Erev Shabbos. So that's why we have a shir at 2:30 here, Erev Shabbos. All the men show up here, they love it. I actually extend it. It's supposed to be over with an hour. We do an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. We schmooze. The other doesn't go home. I don't know why. They all sit here. They do chazara. It's gewaldig. Yeah, we help Shalom Bayis. We take trauma. There's we fix traumas. There's different ways to fix trauma. We get rid of the trauma. Omar Rish Lakish. Noisen tam levgam she'amru. This is important, this word she'amru. This, that you add bad flavor to food, that they said, she'amru, that the Chacham talked about, so let me just explain to you about peh. It's super simple. Here we got a min b'sheinu minoi. We have a tafshil, okay? Now they're tasting, these are chefs, they're tasting what's going on here. And one guy says it's soup.
Example, because it's a bari. It's a full.
Yeah. It's not a good example, b'chlal. We'll
Why take it out once it's there?
hold on.
It's exactly what
It's B'Seder Gomer. For the it's l'saber soizen. A lot of the things are not a good example. They also one of the worst things they did with their hand. They should have used the fork. Okay. One guy says it's too salty. The other guy says we don't have salt. It's too sharp. Too spicy. Now, obviously, this mouse, like the Maisa Shahoya, where the cat fell into the chont in yeshiva, the Maisa Shahoya, the cat fell into the chont, right? In what yeshiva did the cat fall into the chont?
They say Panovich.
They say Panovich.
Every time they flash a chol.
Ever since then, they have mechablim in this. It messed up the whole yeshiva. So, does the cat impart a bad flavor? L'chayr, yeah. If you have a mouse in a chont, it's going to impart a mousy flavor. So here's the shiloh. It's a beautiful shiloh. The chont before the mouse fell in was bad. Look, all the chefs. This guy says it's too salty. This guy says it's too this, too that. So the chont is off. Some guy decided to do the chont instead of his wife, and he doesn't know what he's doing, right? So now you have a mouse / too salty. How do we view it? Is the mouse nice and tam levgam? Is the mouse imparting bad flavor? It's already bad beforehand. So there's two ways to look at it. You could say l'chumra, you could say l'kula. L'chumra means the mouse does nothing. It's not a bad flavor. And memela what? Memela what? L'chumra, it's going to be asur. You have a mouse in a chont. The only time mouse in chont is good is if it imparts a bad flavor, a negative flavor. But over here it's already negative beforehand. So it didn't impart a bad flavor. We remain with the mouse. Mousey chont is asur. That's l'chumra. I could say the same exact thing and say l'kula. No, I don't care about the salt. I don't care about this. Tachlis, I smell, I taste a dead mouse in here. And dead mouse is nois and tam livgam. Nois and tam livgam is mutter. So it's mutter. L'kula means the chont is good. L'chumra means the chont is no good. Very, very simple. Here, Lishna Kama, Rish Lakish says these two Lashonos. It's not, he says it's not considered that the mouse imparts a bad flavor. And Mimela what? I have a mousey chont, so it's awesome. He says, no, the mouse does impart a bad flavor, so Mimela, it's pogum. If it's pogum, if it's a disgusting flavor in the chont, then the chont is mutter. Let's see inside. Omar Rish Lakish, Noisen Tam Levgam Sha'amru. This is that they said that it gives a bad flavor. It's without this food being bad. If the food is bad, then we have a problem. It's missing salt. Right? The famous story with the Chavetz Chaim. He was at a place. I think it might have been on Shabbos. I don't remember what day of the week it was. He was at a place with another Choshev Rav, and the balabas of the hotel came by and said, "Nu, what do you think about the food?" And the Chavetz Chaim said, "It was good." And the other Rav said, "It was missing. The soup was missing a little salt." And when the balabas went away, I don't know if it was a woman or whatever it was, the Chavetz Chaim told the person, "I can't believe you over in Lashon Hara." He says, "Lashon Hara?" He says, "Who works here in this hotel? Who could come on a Leil Shabbos like this? This person doesn't have a husband, an almana." So what happened? She's going to go now, turn around, go back into the kitchen, and yell at her and say, "You know, the Choshev Rabbanim said that the food wasn't good, it was missing salt." So the guy says, "You know, you're exaggerating. You made a whole cheshbon, you know, you made a ha'anacha," they say in yeshiva, you made a ha'anacha and you ask a kasha. Don't make a ha'anacha, she's not an almana, it's a man, and then he's fine, and nobody's yelling. So they said, "Okay, let's go." So they went into the kitchen, and they found the balabas yelling at the almana. And the almana was crying. Famous story, yeah? Kol she'ein chaseira klum elo. Oh, sorry. Can't miss any words here. Chaser mel is missing salt. Yiser mel has too much salt. Chaser tavlin is missing spice. Yiser too much spice. All these are problems with the food. The food is not good. Doesn't taste good. Too much salt. What are you going to do with too much salt? The only time you say that it ruins the chont and memel it's kosher is if you don't have a side problem with salt and the different spices. But if you have a problem with salt and different spices, then we have to be machmir and say that the chont is treif because I don't regard the mouse at all. It's a mousy chont, it has a mouse in there, and we don't say noisin tam levgam mutter. Vikidamri, and some say the opposite. The same case. Omer shlokish noisin tam levgam shoamru. I don't care if it's missing salt and has too much salt. Bottom line is, in addition to the very salty chont, I have a mousy chont. And that mousy chont, I don't care now about the mouse, because noisin tam levgam mutter. Yivaldik. Now, I have a question for the Olam. When you have a chont, like Dr. Factor said, it's obviously not a mouse, because if it's a mouse, okay, you can't, it's nicker, it's a bria b'fnei asma, but you have something like this. Let's say, where was that? I saw it somewhere. Here. You have this. Oops. Take a McDonald's and you grind it into the pot. Okay? It mixes in with the chont. You take the mouse and you grind it into the chont. Yeah? Shmak, no, David. Shalom Aleichem, I missed you. How much of this chont do you have to eat? Think about it to get malchus. You have little pieces of mouse, a lot of little pieces of mouse. How much chont do you have to eat? The whole chont is mousy. All the potatoes are how much to get malchus? You need a kazayis. You need a kazayis. So how much chont do you have to eat? A kazayis. How much? Huh? Good, because you know this stuff. Next. Anybody? Nobody's going to answer that without knowing the sugi inside out. How much? Kazayis of mouse. L'chayr, you're right. You need to eat a kazayis of mouse. It's not enough to eat a kazayis of chont. The whole chont is mousy. But eating one potato, kazayis potato, is not going to make you get malchus. What do you have to? In order to be over, you have to eat a kazayis of mouse. That's how it goes. A kazayis of mouse, time out. I'll tell you in a second. To get malchus, to eat the kazayis of the mouse, and it has to be within a certain amount of time. Within be'erech 2 minutes, which is called kedei achilas pras. This is what we once did, or I did once a long time ago, back in the day before we had Yoshi. Pras means a half of what? A half of a loaf of bread, which equals 4 eggs, because the bread is 8 eggs. As long as it takes you to eat 4 eggs. Remember, by the Leila Seder, people are rushing to eat that kazayis, because you can't just take a half hour. You have to eat it within a certain amount of time. Whatever kedei achilas pras is, to be yoy to the mitzvah of this. Yoshi did this to show it's a half of bread. You see, he did a bowl of soup, a half a loaf of bread, and to eat the entire inside of that half a loaf of bread in how long? If you eat it within this amount, whatever that amount is, boom, it's red. That's this, or you're over this, or if you eat it anything longer than that, if you're taking your time like this guy, then you're not over this, and you don't get the malchus. So says the Gemara, very simple. If the flavor and the physical being of it, those pieces of mouse, asur, if it's mamashi asur, it's asur like a mouse. Like in olav, you get malchus if you eat it. But this is halacha l'meshvin Sinai. V'zo kazayis b'chdei achilas pras. You have to eat a kazayis mouse within the 2 minutes or whatever it is. Listen, I'm just calling it 2 minutes because I think that's something that stuck in my head back then. It's about 2 minutes. What? Mamasha, why not? Now here's the next thing. Look. Huh? Oh, 2 minutes to 9 minutes. Okay, 2 to 9. What if you put in? So Rashi says something super interesting. We did a thing for it, but it's like Taisus is all over Rashi, but Rashi says it here because this is a very only in Eretz Yisrael you have something like this. It looks like it's closed, the bottle of milk, but in the Leiba you can still pour out of it. It's not a problem. If you pour milk into the chunk, it's gone. Where is it? It's nothing. Or the other pshat. Oh, you saw that? He's very serious, and now he's smart. The other pshat is chaylev. 2 pshatim in Rashi, chalev and chaylev. Taisus says chalev makes no sense. You can never be mevat. Fine. It's mamash also, the isser is in there. So let's even say chaylev. You take fat that just becomes, it disintegrates. How do you say nimayach? It melts. It melts right into the chalt. It's not piecey. So what's the halacha there? You don't have pieces, you see? Mamasha means pieces.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to eat all the pieces. It means the pieces exist and they're there.
So what are you eating?
You're eating a potato, which is awesome.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I hear. Also, you gave this daf, so you know better.
I think it's it's evenly dispersed. Is that what it's saying?
Also, ve'ein loikin if you don't get malchus. V'im riba. And if you have much of this mouse, it tastes mousy. Tam lev gam, v'mriba tam lev gam, mutter. Now, what's the question over here? Just the technical question. We had enough of a trauma just from this. This is very traumatic for a lot of people. Nun tes lev gam. Now it's reish tes lev gam. Riba tam lev gam. What's this riba? Why do you have to introduce a new language here when we're struggling as is? He's listening to Shirley Bornstein. You believe it? So keep on going. Shkoyach. Thank you. He wants to know what the real pshat is. What's your name, Tzaddik?
Rosenberg.
Are you a Reb Shirley fan?
Huh?
You listen to Reb Shirley on a...
No, I just needed the Gemara. I didn't have one. So
I
wasn't listening to him.
But we also have, okay, whatever. Give a Gemara, Baisa, please. All you have to do is ask.
That's how it starts.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. You know what the Gemara says? Like, first you sit, then you this. First you go for the Gemara, then by mistake you listen, and eventually you're gonna get gechapt over there. No Yervayim. Could be a problem. I love you, Reb Shirley, because somebody's going to cut it out and show you. Okay. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Okay. Reb Shirley, just to explain, I'm in the middle of Shir, we're talking about Nois and Talmud of Gam, and all of a sudden I hear your voice from the back, the most corner seat, and loud, and for a few seconds, like it didn't go off right away. Okay. The guy, we have a guest, we made a little bit, he needed a Gemara. I'm not trying to be vaish, need a Gemara, and he went to your app. He has a good app, and he had the Gemara, and by mistake he pushed. It made for a geshmaka time here. Hold on. V'riba tam lev gam mutter. So the Gemara says v'leima nosen tam lev gam mutter. Why do you have to say riba? That's not how we call it. We call it noisen tam lev gam, nun tes, noisen tam, not reish tes, not riba tam. Hakam Mashmalan says the Gemara. There's a chiddush here. Even though to get to this terrible flavor, there are other things causing that bad flavor. Nevertheless, we call it a bad flavor that comes from this mouse. It's mousy and it's mutter. V'hilchasa, says the Gemara, kilishna basra de Rish Lakish. We go with the second of Rish Lakish. That what? That if you have a mouse and you have bad flavor in the food anyways, we're going to go with the mouse. And the mouse gives bad flavor, so what is it called? Noisen tam lev gam, and it is mutter. We go likula. Sponsors. Turning on the daf, Adar Global. MDY is enjoying the benefit of Meisters of Adar's. MDY clients create more Meisters for MDY, so Adar can help us all get on base. Anonymous, L'zech Nishmas, Reb Chaim ben Reb Elazar Ashkenazi. Anonymous is Zchus Vatzlacha and Ruchnius and Gashmius. I forgot to mention terrible thing. One of our kvuim here in the shir, the levaya of Miss Shifra, his daughter, young woman, Miss Shifra Lewin, Chaisar Shifra, Shalom. So the levaya I don't know when it is. It says tonight. What's tonight? Sunday night? It was last night? Okay. The Kfur is here in Bet Shemesh. In Eretz Yisrael. Okay. To give chizik to the Olam, not to toot my own horn. You know that I'm trying to get to 40. I want to do every daf 40 times Beis Hashem on Avodah Zarah. I don't know if I'll. Probably not going to happen by the siyum of Avodah Zarah. But so yesterday I put in some hours. I'm telling this to the Olam because I want the Olam to know that it's doable. I chazred 31 daf. 31 daf on a Shabbos. It took me over 4 hours. It's about 8 minutes a daf. If you know the dafim well, 8 minute daf. Most of them took less than 8 minutes, but even if you do it 8 minutes, about 4 hours, 31 daf. Olam can do it. You don't have to do 31. You don't have to do sugar. You can do 10. Do 7. 7 is. And you could do, everybody reminding the Olam that you could join a Chazorah program. He's giving out $1,000 a week. People won.
Used to be anonymous.
Jack. Oh. That was anonymous? What a day, what a day. That you should erase. That was not a typo. That was my bad. Mamish. Wow. Okay, you know what? Let's just talk to the guest for a second. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? Simcha Friedman? Yeah. Shalom Aleichem, brother and father. Shalom Aleichem. Well, you were here a few times, no? You never? No, father. Oh, your father's not here? No. Not here, okay. Shalom Aleichem. Listening. And who's next to you? Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Eli Scheller.
From?
I live in Lakewood.
Eli Scheller.
Famous storyteller.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Nu, you want to tell us his Maisa? Something related to MDY, maybe?
Or related to story.
Well, you live in Lakewood? Do you do the daf with us?
You know, my father talks about it every day.
I got it. Beis Hashem, one day you too. All right, who's up next? What's your name? What? Yeruchim Levin. Shalom Aleichem from? Brooklyn, New York.
Son.
That's your son?
Yes.
Ah, Shalom Aleichem. How you doing? Wow. Okay, you also don't do the daf. Your father does it. It's a bunch of people, their fathers. Shalom Aleichem. So, you have a Kishmaka Maisa real quick?
Give me like 60 seconds.
Okay.
To some other people.
Okay, good. Shalom Aleichem. You guys are from Beitar, you told me, right? What's your names?
I'm Danny or Daniel and
Shalom Aleichem. From? Beitar. What's your last name? Cooper. Shalom Aleichem. And you? From London. A lot of people from London. You're Shalom Aleichem.
Ari Mechlevitz.
Ari Mechlevitz, the famous Mechlevitz family. Your father still does the daf?
Still does it a few times a day.
A few times a day. Gewaldig. Who else do we have? Sit. There's somebody else. Oh, I don't see. Whoever's hiding is hiding. Okay. David, that's your son, we know your son. Weiter.
60 seconds. Story.
Oh, you ready? He doesn't know. He's not ready yet. What do you got?
Give me
Give you another minute. Oh, we'll be done with the daf in a minute. Omer Rav Kahana, whatever. You'll raise your hand if you have something. Omer Rav Kahana, Medivrei Kulam Nilmad. So I try to point it out as we're going along, just to do a shtickle review. Medivrei Kulam. So far, we didn't have a single shita that says that nois and tam of gam is asur. That if it imparts a bad flavor, nobody says it's asur. Everybody says it's mutter. We started off the whole sugya. Rav Yehuda says halacha is nois and tam of gam mutter. He says mefurish. Then the next one we had a whole thing with the vinegar in the greasin and tachlis. At the end of the day, since it imparts a bad flavor, nois and tam of gam mutter. Rish Lakish. And we even passing like the kula of Rish Lakish. That what nois and tam of gam, since it's bad. Even if there's, not only if it's bad, but even if there's other bad flavors in the tafsir, Rish Lakish says it's mutter, the mouse is mutter. So he says nois nam gam mutter. Rav Avo says, we're learning it right now, riba, he added too much bad flavor, it's mutter. The Gemara says, why riba? Call it nois and tam, why, just say nois and why riba? So he said, even if there's other flavors there, the mouse is completely mutter. So says the Gemara, Amar Rav Kahana, v'divrei kulam nilmad, from all this I see, nois and tam livgam mutar. Amalei Abaya, bishlam imukulu l'chayif. I agree to all of it. El the Rish Lakish, Amru Kamar, just to remind the Olam, look at this. Amar Rish Lakish, nois and tam livgam sha'amru, he's talking about, he's not saying I say this, he says, they, the Chachamim said sha'amru. I'll explain what they meant. They didn't mean that it's too much salt, too little salt. But he's not going his own shita. He's not saying what he himself holds. Shamru. Okay, so fine, good. So it's all these minus Rish Lakish, because he wasn't talking. It's not his own shita. He's just saying Shamru. Okay, end the story. But the Gemara says, you tell me, look how many people say it's mutter. No, but who says it's aser? I never saw a single shita since the Mishnah. Even the Mishnah talks about pouring vinegar on the greasing, that it makes it mutter. Who says the opposite of that? Says the Gemara, there is a Tana, his name is Remeir. Yes, there is somebody that says aser. Vatanya, and in fact it says in the Brayse, whether it's for the bad or for the good, Asur, noise and tam levgam, even a bad flavor is asur. Divrei Rebbe Meir, and the Gemara is going to explain where he got it from. Rebbe Shimon Omer, and that's what we're holding. L'shevach asur levgam mutter. If it adds good flavor, the mousy chalt is good, then it will be asur. But if it's bad, it's mutter. By the time of the Rebbe Meir, where did Rebbe Meir get this from? Gomar migiulei oivdei gechavim. So, in the pasuk it says, "Kol davar sheyavi beish tavir beish." This is talking about Klal Yisrael went to Midyan. They grabbed all this stuff. Imagine you have pots that the Midyanim, they cooked pork in there. Says the Torah, what do? You just put it into the fire. You do hagolas kelim, either with a fire and b'chol shelo yavi beish. If it can't go in a fire, tavir b'mayim, put it in the water. Hagolas kelim. That's what we do today. Hagolas kelim. So Yoshi wanted to. Motzei Shabbos didn't have time. He wanted to next time. Let's say you take a donkey and you cook it in a pot, right? And it's dead. So part of the donkey goes, little parts of the donkey, miniature donkeys go into the walls of the pot. That's called blias. It's a blia. It gets absorbed by the wall of the pot. Now, if it's fresh, so it tastes good. It's geschmack donkey meat. But let's say it's 3-4 days old. There's nothing worse than that. 4-day-old spoiled donkey meat inside the pot. So what's the problem? If Klal Yisrael went to Midyan and they took a pot full of pork in the walls of it's disgusting. You don't have to do Agalas Kalim according to what you're telling me. That's called Nois and Tam Le V'gam. And Nois and Tam V'gam is mutter. You don't have to go, you don't have to do anything. So why does the Torah say they have to do Agalas Kalim? Obviously the Torah holds that even though it's disgusting, you still have to do Agalas Kalim. What could be an obvious answer? That we're not talking about that it's a few days old. It's talking about that day. They just cooked it that morning and the Klal Yisrael took it. So says the Gemara, isn't it a terrible taste? It's terrible taste. The Torah says you can't use the kli until you do Hagalas Kalim. So too, there's no difference. So what's the other svara? Like he says, the Leil of Gam here. This guy did a Gder Bas Yaima. We have all sorts of people now sending stuff in. Here's a non-Jew in the morning, and if you look, there's a clock over there. It's not so klar. And then immediately afterwards, you have the Jew cooking. If it's the same day, by the way. So we're talking about it. A lot of the Israelis knew that. I don't know if I myself wasn't so clear about it, but everybody in the Shir knew this. If you go to the Hagalas Kalim over here, I was very nispo when I was here. I was only here for one Pesach during COVID, I think it was. They set up here in the parking lot. By the way, if you come here in the morning, you're a guest. We love guests and everything. And if this is a very hard parking situation, you could park. There's a giant parking lot on the bottom of the street. You just have to walk literally 2 minutes. So in that parking lot, they set up for free massive pots, vats, and with big burners, and everybody comes with their kelim to do Hagalas Kalim all day long. So one of the things that they tell you there's, do not bring kalim that are ben yoyimai. Don't bring kalim that are 1 day old. This is what we're learning right now. Because what happens is what? Used within a day. Why? Because it has the blias, it has these things in it, and what happens to the stuff absorbed? It goes into the water. And then you get another one and another one, and you have all these bad blias inside the water. Now the water becomes this. So everybody scream out here and cheer, and it's true. They put akinomika. They put bleach into the water. Why? Because now any blias that comes out of the pot becomes disgusting anyway. It's not edible. So I don't care how many blias, but they still tell you don't bring it. Some places tell you don't even bring old pots. We don't want old pots. We only do new pots. Because new pots is another problem that I saw a whole article about it. I don't want to make you guys meshuga, but basically the outside, the thing that makes the pot shiny is made out of animal something. So how much is a bottle, and it's a masher shebim masher. It's a whole nidain. What do you do with this stuff? And even if you do hagalas kalim, it doesn't come off. The pot remains shiny. Why? Because it's a certain thing that gets absorbed. So anyway, fine. So time out. Let's just explain that before I skip. This hagalas kalim is for these kalim that the guy cooked in the morning and you grabbed it, you went to war and you grabbed it that day. What do you mean? Pork that's 6 hours old, 9 hours old, disgusting, out of the fridge. It's disgusting. It's a little bit disgusting. Nevertheless, you have to do hagalas kalim. And the Torah says, if not, the Torah says it's awesome. Reb Shimon, my timer. Why does Reb Shimon say that nois and tam levgam is mutter? Where did he get this idea that a terrible flavor makes something more? You and I wouldn't know this by ourselves. That a dead mouse in your cholent, because it gives a bad flavor, the cholent is kosher. Where'd I get it from? He says, because it says in the Pasuk, don't eat any nevela, you give it to the ger. But you have to be able to give it to ger. It has to be something that's edible for a goy. Something that's ger toishav, something that he could eat is an nevela. Shein really ger, something that's not roy for a ger is not called a nevela. Now, time out. For Meir, he says, okay, that's a good brush, and I also darshan it, but a little bit different. The pasuk is coming to say that if an animal is born disgusting, let's say it has boils and tsaras, whatever it is, so disgusting, then that's something you don't give to you don't give to a ger. And memela, for you it's also kosher. It doesn't trafe up your food. Reb Shimon, I don't even need a pasuk for that. After Balmo, an animal is born with boils and has tsaras, you don't need a pasuk for. 1 minute, we have a story.
Yeah,
how long is the story?
I'll do it in 90 seconds.
A 90-second story. Okay, let's go. Let's hear from the world famous storyteller.
One time. This boy in 5th grade, and he can't understand anything that's going on in this year. The Gemara sounds like Chinese, and he's getting like 30s and 40s on all his tests. And the one thing that he liked was basketball. And he liked Michael Jordan, so his father said, you know what, you get a 90 6 months in a row, I'll take you to a Michael Jordan game in Madison Square Gardens. So he said, okay. He never got a 90 before, never got higher than a 30. He tried to focus in class, but it was just going right through his head. But after school, he would call like the best kids in the class and ask them, what did Rebbe do? He got a quick summary, and he was able to do it. And like that, he was able to get 90s on every test in a row. He called kids after school. For 5 months in a row, he's doing it. And finally, after 6 months, his father said, okay, we'll go to a game. He worked very hard. Goes into the game, gives in his ticket, runs in, and the guy says, hey, get back here. He says, what's the matter? The guy says, get back here, your tickets are fake. He says, what are you talking about? They bought 2 tickets right outside. They scalped tickets, and the tickets were fake, and he got kicked out of the stadium. His father felt terrible. He said, you know what, we'll go to a restaurant, we'll watch it on a big screen. He said, no, I want to be with Michael Jordan. He had pictures of Michael Jordan all around his bed, T-shirts of Michael Jordan. He wanted to see Michael Jordan. So his father, he said, I just want to go back home. He takes him back home, and he goes back to school, back to 30s and 40s, throughout high school. And that's how he finished school. And I know this story is true because that was me. I wanted to see Michael Jordan. But then I came to Eretz Yisrael afterwards, and I saw what true greatness is, doing like 31 blot on Shabbos in 4 hours. That, I believe, is true greatness. So.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.